Hello and welcome to podcast episode 9.
9. It was different.
You have hand problems. Stop looking at them.
But I don't know what I want to do. I'm going to be in my own little world. You go on.
Okay. Moving right along, we have the JK pick, which we can't move along with not me talking about. So.
All right. LBP Natural Legacy by Sumiyaki Coffee. Can we have coffee? I want coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. You will wait. But it's you're climbing trees and going through basically a forest. No reason. Just neat level. But it's nice use of emitters. They use the emitter expand ability, which is not used enough. Usually people just appear or fade in or whatever, but they actually expand and get the branches to look like they're growing out, and all based on grab too. Has pretty good visual cues throughout the thing, telling you where to go. One spot you have to go back a few layers and it doesn't really tell you. But other than that, great level. Few jumps are insanely far though, which kind of can lead to those who don't have practice and that sort of thing kind of dying a lot. But definitely uses good use of the space media molecule gives you, because it's a really long level, like distance-wise. So definite play. I'd recommend it. All that way. I am recommending it.
You have to balance the complexity of the level with the size of the level, because you can get a really huge level, but you sacrifice complexity.
Which this one I think kind of did in some areas.
Yeah, so it depends on the style that you go for, really. But now we're getting into metaphysics of level drawing, level creation. So, moving right along to the Durman pick this week, Overboard by Raisai Boy 8. This level is just terribly charming. I had to pick it. Admittedly, it's not the best made level out there.
When he showed it to me, I was very cautious.
Yeah. But this level has just gobs of character. It has the same sort of charm that Little Big Planet 1 had. What are you laughing about?
Nothing? Continue.
But in any event, in this level... They're trying to train me not to say, You hit me in the eye. That's not cool. In any event, in this level, you are riding around on your boat, and then a shark crashes into your ship and knocks you into the water. Then you have to go through this big platforming thing underwater in order to get back up and take revenge on the shark. So that's quite a lot of fun. You get to shoot him with a giant deck gun, and eventually you're fighting a giant, angry, burning
I'm crying.
shark. So am I. In the eye that you hit with a quarter.
Was that a quarter?
Probably.
Oh, that was a penny.
In any event, it hurt. The only problem that this level is that it lacks beautification.
This is why I was cautious.
Yes, this is sort of an issue. The camera work isn't as great as it could be. You can see outside of the bounds of the level a lot. So that's a bit of an issue. Gameplay-wise, it still runs beautifully. Visually-wise, it has a few issues that could be resolved without too much trouble. So that's my pick for this week. I think it's definitely worth at least 8. Next up, we have the podcast pick.
Digital Garden by PRFL Akko. 3630. Weird name, I don't know how to say it. 3636.
This level uses a great amount of sequencers and holograms in order to make various naturalistic plant shapes that are all decorative in the background and whatnot. But that's just visual stuff. The actual gameplay is extremely well done. There are a lot of different challenges. There are a lot of different level elements like elevators and different lighting and all sorts of cool stuff.
And secret areas, too.
And secret areas. There are at least 2 secret areas, one of which we know has a mini game in it, which is very nice.
And it's actually a 2-part level. There's a level link halfway through, because this level is extremely complex but very polished.
Oh, yes.
Little overheating issue, though.
There is a very substantial overheating issue in the second part of the level, where you have a bit of headgear. You have a creatinator that shoots lightning, and when you need it most, the lightning doesn't always spawn because the level's overheating.
Yes, there's one part where you have these giant spiders coming to attack you, and you are to shoot them with lightning, and you can't fire it because you get this nice little yellow exclamation mark going, nope, I'm good. Not gonna
Yellow
fire.
exclamation marks don't do nearly so much damage as lightning, in my experience.
Or as much as a quarter.
Now the problem with this game is that we have the biggest issue is that the elevators don't play cheesy elevator music. When I'm in an elevator, I expect bad music.
No Muzak.
No Muzak. That is unacceptable.
And it really wouldn't be too hard because Little Big Planet has Muzak built into it.
Yeah, it's out of the music that they give you in the game, it's like 15% Muzak, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Moving on, this week's M&M pick is Super Stickman Golf Rainy Day by RJN15.
Glitchy as all.
Yeah, this level is awfully glitchy. Sometimes. See,
For me, mainly.
For him. See, I'm the one that usually breaks levels. This time it was him.
It was telling me my options for hitting the ball were down or down. Not any direction you'd ever want to hit the golf ball.
But this is a different take on the usual mini golf game that you see in Little Big Planet. Instead of being top down, it's side on, and you're hitting up as opposed to just, in the 2D plane.
It's a golf minigame, not a mini golf game.
Yes. It's on the X and Y axis as opposed to the Z and X axis. It's right. Anyway, this level has a lot of... Well, actually, it doesn't have a lot of decorations, but that's a pro and a con, because it has a nice simplistic look to it, but at the same time, it could use a little breaking up.
Yeah, because all you got is black trees on a very, very dark background that you can't really...
Yeah, it's nice for a little bit of effect, but at the same time, it could use more. Now, the level could also use some sort of intro or a menu screen as opposed to the little hub that they have at the beginning of the game instead.
All it is an arrow to the right saying like controls, and then left is play.
It's just a how-to and a play. So having a level interface would be nice. There are guides out there on how to do such things, which are very helpful.
Com4MC has a really good one.
Yes, Com4MC has a great one. So
he's how we learned.
Yeah. You can copy the level that he has up. It's just a quick how-to type thing. Very cool. In any event, this week's news, we have actually several items. First off, the Final Fantasy DLC, which has been long awaited, is finally coming out soon.
Which you will probably want to buy as a pack rather than separately, because you get an extra costume.
Yes. The costumes that are included are Aerith, Tifa, Cloud, and Sephiroth. And if you get the costume bundle, you also get Vincent.
I want the claw.
Yes. But this is all, of course, Final Fantasy VII costumes. It would be nice to have costumes from the other games, but Final Fantasy VII is arguably the most popular game, so it makes sense for them to just do this one for now, at the very least.
I can see other ones down the line definitely getting them.
Because I'd like to see, like, the Warrior of Light costume from...
Yeah, 1, 2.
Well, from 1, but from the costume that they have in Dissidia. People throwing coins at me! In Dissidia.
Yeah, I would like to see some of the outfits from 10. 10 had some nice outfits.
10 had some funky outfits, that's for sure.
13's got some...
Though the main character from Final Fantasy VIII had an awesome jacket.
13's got some good ones. And if you haven't played it, they're in home.
Also, Kane from Final Fantasy VI. I
never got around to playing 6.
But in any event, that's the costume pack. There's a lot of Commons and Creators materials in there, but forget it. Also, we have a new website. We decided to move over to WordPress as opposed to Blogger because WordPress has a lot more customization issues. Has a lot more customization features, which is very nice. So we're going to have a link to that on our original blog, and we will soon be adding embedded YouTube videos from all of our current episodes onto there.
And right now, if you want to get to the site instead of typing our old URL, you can go to littleblogplanet.com because that URL also directs there.
So we will be switching over the podcast LBP.com as soon as we can. Right now it's all held up in red tape and whatnot. But next up we have the
contest that I know nothing about.
Yeah, the Little Big Planet Central Crown Contest number 2, Multiplayer Mayhem. This is a level design contest, of course, for multiplayer levels only. The contest requires that the level be for 2 through 4 players. No one-player playability at all. Or at least it kicks you out of it if you are playing one player. The levels are due on July 23rd. And also...
That's a short contest.
Yes. The level can be either co-op or versus, but it has to have some sort of very clear system of counting who's the winner, because you have to have some competition in there. So if you have like score givers, you have to make sure that they work so that they give the right person score. No giving it out to everybody. So if you want more details, we are going to attach a link to Little Big Planet 2 blog, where they have a nice big write-up and links to the forum post about the thing itself. But that's it for news this week. And this is also the announcement for the winner of our fan art contest.
Very depressing, actually.
Yes, we only had 3 entries.
No, we had no entries. What are you talking about?
That's true.
No official entries.
No official entries, because nobody put in the subject line, podcast contest.
Can you just throw a coin in him really quick? I know you have them. Thank you.
Okay. In any event, we did get 3 entries, which we were hoping for more, but we got 3 entries.
3. 4.
4? 4. Okay. We got a handful of entries, and our winner is...
A room with a moose underscore.
A room with a moose underscore.
You forgot the underscore.
As you can see...
This is not me playing favorites, I swear. This was actually coincidence. We had not decided the winner yet. Don't judge me.
As you can see here, we have the beautiful Sackboy drawing, which was actually made from words from...
Media Molecules blog.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. You can stop covering up your shirt now.
Is that what I was covering up?
Maybe. I hope so.
Okay.
Sticky notes this week is hollow glue. This is a trick which isn't really that much of a trick.
Important one for mainly point bubbles.
Point bubbles make this trick extremely, extremely useful. Basically, you glue your point bubbles or whatever else you want to be floating in the middle of nowhere to a hologram, so that if you pick up any individual bubble, the rest of the bubbles won't fall.
Which you can tell when people have them hanging by strings or held up by a piston or however they went about it, when it's not, because, well, you hit one, they all collapse or they tip over, which I enjoy. I kind of enjoy the ones that tip over. You hit the one and then it's a poof.
Or they just fall into nowhere.
The only thing you have to be careful of is don't glue the hologram to something you're trying to move.
The best way to do it is to place your point bubbles, draw a hologram over it, make sure that it's capturing them. Also make sure that the hologram is touching something else that's not going to be moving. Then select the hologram with the advanced glue tool, hide the hologram, and then glue it to all of the point bubbles. It's the best way to do it. So, That's hollow glue. Make sure that the hologram is invisible, of course. Set brightness to 0. And
but that would be so amazing.
Blocks of hologram flying all over the place.
Oh, not to make a level.
Exactly.
There's a lot of those levels out there, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're not going to have Comets and Craters this week because of the fan art contest. Plus, we kind of went over a couple of Comets and Craters.
Those bits of fan art will be visible with our blog post.
Mm-hmm. We're going to put all of the entries that we got on there so that you'll be able to see what we got. And, of course...
should we rank them, or no?
Nah. Just winner and runners-up.
Okay. That works.
You don't have enough entries to choose.
I think one of them... I think the people who submitted, though, this past week are more like walkers-up than runners-up. They kind of just barely got here.
Sprinters up, more like.
Okay, I have to give a quick shout out because Backscratch on Twitter, when I announced this, sent a piece into the art competition, but it wasn't actually Little Big Planet related, so it's not in this. But it was oh crap! I hear coins.
In any event,
it was a drawing of Gordon Freeman.
Gordon Freeman.
So I'll post a link to that.
So anyway, that's all the time that we have for this week. Check out the website, Little Big Planet. Well, what am I talking
Blog
about?
Planet.
LittleBlogPlanet.com for now. The Twitter, of course. The gallery levels will be updated before too terribly long. Send more fan art, please, to the email with your PSN.
We'll show those in a month.
Yeah, 1 month. Send the levels to Twitter, and just level links to littlebigplanet.me.
And we should have a new thing at the bottom really quick with Room with a Moose on it. If not, I'm going to yell at him. Mm-hmm. So that's all.
Yeah. Have a great week in the cosmos.
Seriously. Do it.